welcome to Knitting with Amanda. I'm very happy that you'll join me in my knitting corner in the world. Right now I'm very focused on this sweater, which I will talk about more a little later. It's lovely to knit on. But first, as you know, I live in Sweden, and we got a lot of darkness during this time of year. So I have to wait for the opportune moment to record this podcast. And right now, I didn't find an opportune moment. My partner and the little man is playing upstairs. I don't know how much you will hear it how much you will hear it, but I hope not too much, and I hope it's not too noisy for you. I will talk about my finished projects, I will talk about what I'm knitting on, and then I have a subject, and I also want to give you a media tip. I don't know how, because I haven't listened to too much that isn't news in the latest weeks. But we'll see. Let's start with my finished project. It's easy, it's only one, and you almost saw it last time. It is my vanilla latte socks. It was pure joy to knit them on my. I tried to knit them on my 9-inch nails, circulars, but I have a too narrow feet, so it didn't really work. So I had to go back to magic loop. They are almost perfectly matched, and this eye of partridge heel, it's lovely. I love that pattern on a heel flap. It gives so much detail to the sock, to the project. That was my finished project. I don't have more. I have been so focused on other stuff. I have started on another sock in, as you can see, in thicker yarn. It is Novitan 7 Brothers. It has a lovely Finnish name that I won't even try to pronounce. The pattern is from Vanilla Latte, and the numbers are from a Swedish worsted weight socks, so I got the right number to cast on, so it's them incorporated. So, and what heel I will make, I don't know. In the pattern it was a flegel heel, so I think I've only done that once before, so I might try that. It's fun to knit easy socks. They just fly off the needles. Other than this sock, which I promptly started to knit on, I don't know why. I enjoy knitting too much. I'm also working on Expecto Patronum from the Magical Knitting Harry Potter pattern book. It is quite dark, so it's hard to see the pattern. and I can't show it closer because then I lose my stitches. But I have pictures on my Ravelry page which shows it a little bit. It is on my Make 9, so you saw the pattern last episode, and it has an outer mitten and a lining in mohair, and I've just started this mitten, so nothing else is done on it. This is about 2 or 3 evenings of knitting, so it was very fast, very joyful. The yarn is Shetland wool and in light fingering. It's pure joy. But isn't every knitting pure joy? Except if you do something that you have to do and you don't enjoy it, then it's not pure joy. But for me, almost every knitting is pure joy. And that was 2 of 3. So now I'll take up my Vardag weekday sweater. Last time I was on the joke. I think I had I don't remember exactly where I was. But since then I've knitted most of one arm and I've started the other one. I like to make my arms 2 at a time, in that manner that I first cast on one and make the first part, and then I cast on the other and make the same point, and then I continue knitting and make the decreases to the finish. And that is exactly where I am on this arm. I have finished the decreases. So now I'm making the decrease length on this arm, and when that is done I will knit to the suggested length of the arms, and I'll leave it on live stitches because this sweater is for my partner's daughter, so I want her to try it on because before I do any bind off or anything, start any ribbing or anything like that, so she is happy with the length of the arms. And the same thing will happen with the body. I will knit like the wind and round and round and round, and when I reach the ribbing or reach the suggested length, I will stop knitting. I will put it in a mailing I will put it in a package and send it to her so she can try it on, and that will be very interesting to see if she likes it at all. I have so many thoughts about this. Should I block it before I send it to her so that it is a little bit blocked and the pattern shows itself better and it falls like it's meant to, because otherwise she might not like it and maybe she's a little disappointed on it? Or will I not block it and just send it away and block it off afterwards? I have no idea how to think. If you have any suggestions, I'm open for it. You know where to find me, either on the notes down here, comments section, or you find me on Ravelry. I think most of you are already friends with me on Ravelry in one way or the other. And now I had to stop knitting because I found a knot. Not fun, but it's easy it should be easily managed because it's pure wool, so I should just be able to felt it together. That is my project. That went fast. A little too fast, I feel. A good thing. I was dropping the stitches on the body all the time. So I took a tip from another Swedish podcaster and took this ringy, I have no idea what they're called, but scrunchie, maybe? I don't know. The one you can make a ponytail of. And just threw that around the needles and it sticks. It's perfect. I haven't tried it before, but it works super. And now when it's the dark of January, everyone is making a new start. Everyone wants to start fresh, and so did I. So I have weighted all my yarn. It was a staggering almost 22 kilograms. It's crazy. I will translate that to pounds for you who uses pounds and write it here. And it wasnwasn't done with that. Just a few days after I weighed my yarn, I got a little more. It's upstairs, and so I can't pick it up right now. But it was lovely yarn from Destination Yarns. And as you know, Destination Yarns is an American company, so it took a while for it to come to Sweden. But I love it. They're beautiful. Now they will be in my stash for a while and mature, as I like to say that my yarn is doing in my stash. And after that I will figure out what to make of it. I got almost a plan. I want a few more colorways, and then I'll make what the fade. It's the Find Your Fade shawl, but in a triangular shape. And that is, I think, the shape of shawl that I like. So, and it's both brioche and garter stitch shawl. So I think it will be a quite easy shape. I'm in a Swedish group, another Swedish podcaster. The podcast they send only in Swedish, but she had started 2 years ago Operation D-Stash. That is where I'll put up my numbers for my D-Stash goals. I don't have a goal, so I'll just put up my numbers there and know how much have I used this year in yardage, in weight, not yardage, because I don't want to measure all my yardage, 22 kilograms of yarn, and then find out all the yardage. No, not happening. I know that Imagine Landscapes, the Canadian podcast, is doing something similar. She's doing more in than out in their Ravelry group. So if you're interested in having company when you do a D-Stash, visit Imagine Landscapes on Ravelry, the group. They also have the imaginating call. I don't know the hashtag now. It's a call that started on Christmas Day and will continue to March, the last of March. And they have prizes. God, they have so many prizes. So you can have they have chatter prizes and prizes for completed objects. You have one entry for completed objects. More information you can find on Imagine Landscapes Ravelry group. I like to have a tip on something you can consume while you're knitting. A movie, a documentary or something else. But the last weeks has been full of CNN and the inauguration of Joe Biden, President Joe Biden. So I haven't watched that much of TV, but if I may, I would like to recommend an old TV series that is Downton Abbey, a British one. Maybe I'm everyone who sees this have already seen it, because it has Maggie Smith as a very sassy dowager countess, and it's a British costume drama that is what it's called. Yeah, it's placed in the beginning of the 20th century, and how a family survives that period between the First World War and the Depression. The first episode starts at a very dramatic time in history, and it brings chaos to the family. I won't say anymore if you haven't seen it, but God, I love it. It's amazing. I've seen the series several times. I like it a lot. I've also found an American podcast that is called Potterless, opposed to Pottermore, that is the old name of J.K. Rowling's site. And it is about a man in his early 20s that have not read the Harry Potter books. So he reads them and discusses the book with someone who has read them, and yeah, it's compelling to see the first impression of the books. It was so long since I first read them. I read the first book in the year of 2000 when I was 12 years old. So I can't really see his point of view, but it's so fun to hear him talk about it. And really, I have not much more to say, so I'll just wish you a happy knitting time, and I'll see you around. You can follow me on Instagram, you can hook me up on Ravelry, or wherever you want. And yeah, have a nice knitting time. Bye.